Hello people of the internet. Today I'm going to do a comparison video comparing two 500 series chassis with the same modules to see if there's actually any difference in the sound between them. If you don't know much about 500 series units, they are essentially a modular system for audio processing, whereas normally you'd have like 19-inch rack mount units. These are kind of small slots that you can put into a chassis and essentially pick and mix your own bits. The advantages of that is that you can, in terms of space, you can tend to fit more into a smaller studio like this one is, and they're often a lot cheaper than their counterparts. The caveat to it is that you need to have a chassis and a power, or usually the chassis and the power come together to start with. So the barrier to entry is buy something to put the modules in. When I first got into this, I bought the API Lunchbox 6B, and I still have it, obviously, it's here. And when I was doing research on this, looking at various forums and such, it was mentioned that, you know, the chassis is very important. You know, make sure it provides enough power, because some modules require quite a lot more power than others. And also that there is a sonic difference between the two. And I thought, that seems a bit strange. Surely if it's being powered correctly, barring like ins and outs of cables, it should sound the same, right? The difference is going to be minuscule. So this is what this video is for. In the want to save space in here, thought maybe I should get a horizontal rack. I've bought a few modules over the time, but I've just narrowed it down to 3 for now. You know, gas, etc. But I've Insignia by Crane Song, which is an EQ, Serpent Splice compressor, which is like an 1176 style compressor, and a DBX 520 de-esser. And that's kind of all I need for recording vocals in here. Like, there's loads of other stuff I'd like, but for now, that's what I'm going to stick with. So anyway, horizontal rack, 3 slot. There are a few of these around. Now, Gear4Music, which is not a budget company, but they often make a lot of low-cost instruments and units for musicians. They have their own 3-slot horizontal rack. And I was like, and it wasn't expensive, like £250, £260. I'm trying to remember what it would cost. And I thought that could be interesting. It would save me space. I'd suddenly have an extra 3 slots, or extra 2 slots, 2U of rack space. But would it sound any different? This is the biggest question for me. So here we are. This is what we're doing. We're testing that out. I put together a small cover of one of my favorite Sylvan Esso songs, Coffee. Apologies for the singing in advance. Using the same settings on each module, just put into the different chassis. So we'll go between them and we'll see what we think.
True, it's the dance, we know the moves. The bow, the dip, the woo. Wrap me in your arms, I can feel it burn. Get up, get down, get up, get down. Feel the turn of rotation, stop, see the next one waiting. Get up, get down, get up, get down, get up. Sentiment's the same, but the pair of feet change.
So people of the internet, did you hear any difference? I mean, it's really hard to tell, isn't it? I don't know if YouTube compression will just make it even more similar. I don't really hear much difference at all. There is a difference, and I feel like the only difference I could detect really was just the low end on the API being a little bit tighter. Maybe not bigger necessarily, just felt a bit more secure. What does that mean? Is that enough to make me stick with the API? Not necessarily. I mean, this bit of the video was made a lot later than the cover recording. I have stuck with the API. I think there are several reasons for that. One, I didn't want to limit myself to not buying more modules. I'm that person who buys things, and it does happen sometimes. I also preferred, with these modules in particular, I didn't like working with them horizontally. I didn't think it would annoy me that much. It annoyed me more than I thought. I think with some other modules, it wouldn't matter so much. If you were just having a couple of preamps with not too many knobs on, it wouldn't be such a problem. And I think because I know that I prefer the sound of the API, even if it is by 0.5%, it would annoy me that I had to change it. But I think if you're starting out and you just want to get into that system, 250 quid, it's probably more than that, isn't it? But it's not very much for a 3-slot horizontal 500 series chassis. You could get straight into that, and it's the barrier to entry in that world is a lot less. You could easily just add an extra rack at some point and have 6 modules for £500, which is still less than the API Lunchbox costs for 6 slots. So all in all, yes, I kept the API, but I think the difference is so minuscule. And again, please put in the comments if you've heard any difference or you have any other thoughts about this. I'd love to chat more on the comment thread, but I don't think there is really any difference.